The notebook has always been a creator's best friend, with ideas and drafts and reminders and dreams scribbled down in one place. But what happens when someone decides to completely reimagine the digital notebook? That's Obsidian. Sleek, powerful, hyped as the second brain for writers and students and creators. But is it brilliance or just overcomplicated note-taking? Hey, it's Caitlin and welcome back to GBRLIFE Reviews, where I test the tools, apps, and platforms so you don't waste your time or your money. So is Obsidian the note-taking revolution that we've been waiting for, or just another productivity rabbit hole that you'll regret later? Well, let's find out right after my really quick intro while you like and subscribe.
Welcome to GBRLIFE. We'll talk big love, everything in the mix. So bring your bold, your bright, your home now, babe. This is GBRLIFE. Ooh, this is GBRLIFE.
Obsidian takes your notes and turns them into a connected web of ideas. Instead of stacking them in folders, you can link one thought to another and actually see the connections in a graph view, like a map of your mind. It's all stored locally in plain text markdown files, meaning you own your data. There's no cloud lock-in or forced ecosystem. So let's talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. Here's what I liked. Super quick and easy for you to just immediately click on Obsidian from Google and download it to your desktop to be a locally stored option. And then when you do, have the graph view. And literally, I'm looking at all of my notes connected visually, and it feels inspiring. It makes me feel like they're alive and not stuck inside of a folder. Plus, this is very customizable with the graph view, but also there is a canvas view. And you can build Obsidian into whatever you want, really, but it is a minimalist aesthetic, yet fully loaded option. So I can make these colorful, but I can also make it very boring in some ways. And watch how you can also add other notes to it. If I just click right here, drag to add note from Vault, I can also just add one of these other notes that you see right here. The other options are being able to add in external links like GBRLIFE.com. Plus, you can add in the very notes from your notes into a note by just right-clicking and saying Add Link, and there's all of the notes. Also, if you want more tutorials like this, because this is not a true tutorial, I would suggest going over to Linking Your Thinking with Nick Milo. I think he's absolutely wonderful with Obsidian tutorials. I went to him quite a few times, and yeah, I think that you would benefit if you're interested in Obsidian and want to get to know it. We'll get into why with the things I don't like. But I also wanted to show you how this is actually local. There it is. The error is nothing to do with Obsidian. That has to do with my computer. But you can see there's the folders from Obsidian, the ability to add in templates, but also all of the notes that I already added. And watch this. If I were to go in here and then just, of course, open or add anything from that, but that's not what I meant to do. But if I were to just go ahead and create a new canvas, it says it's an untitled canvas. There it is, an untitled canvas already added locally onto my computer. How awesome is that? And also, this is free. There's no paywalls and no trial mode. You're going to get the full experience of everything that you are seeing from day one. But it's time to talk about some of these things that I didn't like. Like, for example, you're seeing right here, templates. It's not also the easiest thing to get to. It's not intuitive. Just adding in this right here was quite difficult for me. And that's one of the reasons I had to go over to Linking Your Thinking with Nick Milo. I was unable to figure out how to do quite a few things without actually looking at a few tutorials. So this is not a quick go-to. It is a steep learning curve. And then there's also the plugin dependency. The power comes from community plugins, which is why you see that the templates are there, but there is nothing in this folder. It is completely empty because I have to add that in and add in more of these plugins in order to make all of this work. So out of the box, it can feel bare bones. Plus, in some ways, this can be overkill for just a simple note. I mean, a lot of these other note apps do allow you to do external links or linking other things together as it is. So in some ways, it may be a bit of overkill for, a quick grocery list or just a quick reminder in general. Plus, this is not a built-in cloud. It's local, but it stays local unless you pay for it. If you want a syncing service, you do have to, pay for it. And speaking of money, let's talk about money. So as I stated before, Obsidian is free to download and to utilize immediately. But the one thing that isn't free is that syncing and a few other features. Here is what you're getting. For $4 a month, you can get sync or publish for $8 a month, but this is for the yearly billing. If you want to pay monthly, true monthly, that's $5 or $10, depending on what it is that you're looking for. You also have the licenses. It's a one-time payment of $25 or $50, but it does give you early access to beta versions, community badges, and VIP channel, plus support development or becoming a featured organization. And what do you get for that 5 or your 10? As you can see right in front of you on the screen, sync notes across devices, which I think that most people would really want or need at this point, especially because we are in a very connected world. You get that, but you do get the end-to-end encryption, version history, which is also great if you make a mistake or something goes wrong, and you can collaborate on shared vaults and have some support. And you get all of the same thing on Publish, but the added thing here is you can publish notes to the web and not really need as much technical knowledge because you see how they add in the customizable theme, graph, and full text search. There's a few other things that they kind of make a little easier for you as soon as you go over to the publish and $10 a month. So even though this is completely free, in some ways, if you want the easier user experience, you end up having to pay for it. Which brings us into the question, is it worth it? Here's my take. If you're a writer, a podcaster, a student, or a creative brain with lots of ideas, Obsidian is worth trying because the graph alone might change how you see your projects. And plus, it's free in that capacity. So you're not spending any money to get to know it and see if it works for you. But if you want a simple note-taking app for tasks and checklists, this is probably overkill. So choose Obsidian if you love the idea of a second brain to connect all of your thoughts, and you enjoy customization but don't mind those plugins, and you fully want to own your notes offline. But skip this if you only need lightweight lists and reminders, and you don't want to spend time learning features, or you need instant multi-device sync without having to pay all of that extra. And it's one of the reasons why we are now here. It is time, GBRLIFE ratings, that I'm giving Obsidian the GBRLIFE rating of a 3.5 out of 5. I know you probably thought I was going to give it higher, but my thing is that it is powerful and it is unique, but it does ask for a lot more patience than I think that many of us are willing to really have right now. Again, there's a lot of chaos out there at the moment, and having to sit down and learn something like this could be great. It could be a great distraction, but it could also be a time killer that you just don't really want to spend the time in. On the other hand, though, it could be your next creative command center. So would you use Obsidian to build your own second brain, or do you prefer something simple like Google Keep or Notion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And that's it for this week. But if you want more like this, check out the GBRLIFE Reviews playlist, where we dive into everything from browsers to editing tools. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss another review. Like my review from last week on Edits, Meta's new direct-to-post editing tool for Instagram. Is it actually a CapCut killer? We'll find out by watching. But either way, with all of my content on GBRLife.com and my fabulous Mama Koala clothing line, you don't have to be without GBRLIFE in your life. Now go watch more GBRLIFE reviews. They're waiting for you right here on one of these sides because it's the end of the video and it's showing it on one of these sides. Bye.